barbecue on Sunday, a barbecue on Sunday night, barbecue on Monday night, barbecue on Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night. I don't understand what the problem is. I'm not joking.
Because our Daf Yomi always had the minhag that if the siyum actually ends in the 9 days, we make a siyum with meat. But if we don't push it into the 9 days. That's the way, and we've had
A
three or
Hasidic
four
guy
siyum.
like you, I'm surprised. Okay.
Huh?
A Hasidic guy like you, I'm surprised, honestly.
I follow
Okay.
Rabbi Krauss regarding that. That's the way
He's
Rabbi
taking
Krauss
your cholesterol.
advised
Yeah,
us.
too much meat.
Too much meat.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
Sukkah,
Okay.
Masechta Sukkah, Daf Beis.
Hold
Sukkah-
on.
Yeah, you want to start again? And
Yeah, we're recording now.
Okay. Sukkah shigvor l'malam esrei amas. If the schach is higher than 20 amas, it's 40 feet. Psula. Rabbi Yehuda Machshir, Yehuda says it's okay. The halacha is that it should be within 20 amas. V'shein gvor asar tfachim. If the sukkah is smaller, the walls than 10 tfachim high, that would be a pretty small sukkah. V'shein la shlosha defanos. If it doesn't have at least 3 walls, we'll see it's 2 and a mashu. V'shechamos meruba mitzilt. If the sun is more than the shade, all these examples of a postel dika sukkah. Tanan also mavui shay gavoy mesrim amma. If you have a alleyway, 3-sided alleyway that opens up to Rosh Hashanah, the din is you can carry in the mavui if you have a lechi or a koire on the outside of the mavui. We learned this in Masechta Shabbos and Masechta Eruvin. But if the walls of the mavui or the lechi or the koire are higher than 20 amis, then you got to lower it. And Rabbi Yehuda ain't it tzorich. Rabbi Yehuda says you don't have to lower it. Ma'ishta gabi sukkah the tani psula. Now, our Mishnah didn't give you a correction, didn't say lower it. Just said puzzle. Ma'ishna mavui, the tani takanto, it says lower it, which gave you a takana. Sukkah deraisa tani psula. Because it's either kosher or puzzle. Mavui drabanan, whether it's us or whether it's mutter, it's only rabbinic, they gave us a corrective device. If you don't like that answer, be by sema be deraisa nami tani takanta. You could write a takana for a deraisa. Miu sukkah in the fishi milsa. There are many other things that cause a sukkah to be posel. Posik for tani psula. So they said this thing posel. Now they move on to the others. Mavui deloy nafish mila tani takanta. By a mavui, there are not that many examples of what posels it. So they gave you an immediate correction. Manon Amelia, how do you know about 20 amas? Amar Rabadamar Kra, Leman Yedu Dorosechem. Your generation should know Kivasukos or Shafti is Bnei Israel. Ad Esri Mama, up until 20 amas, Adam Yodea Shudar Besukah. Your eye sees the schach. Person knows he's dwelling in a sukkah. L'maylam Esri Mama, Ein Adam Yodea Shudar Besukah. Mishum deloy sholta be'ein. It's too high. Rosera Amar Mehachav. The sukkah tiel etzel yomam mechorev. Ad Esri Mama Adam Yoshev B'Tzel Sukkah. Up until 20 amas, you're actually sitting in the shade of the schach. L'mala Esri Mama Ein Adam Yoshev B'Tzel Sukkah B'Tzel Defanois. If the schach is really high, we're going to see the psul of schach is if it's not connected to the wall. So you had walls, and then there was a huge airspace before you had the schach, and therefore you would be sitting in the shade of the walls, not the shade of the schach. Well, if that's correct, let's say you built your sukkah in a valley, which have 2 hills on either side. What are you going to tell me because you're sitting in the shade of the mountains and it's not a sukkah? If you remove those mountains, it could sell sukkah. You'd be sitting under the shadow of the schach. But in our case, dal defanis, if you remove the walls, there would be no schach, would be no shade. Leket sel sukkah. So far we have Rabba, we have Rab Zera, Rava Amar, Mehacha, Basukos Teishu Shivas Yomim, Amra Torah Kol Shivas Yomim, Tzemi Diras Kva, V'Shev B'Diras Aroy. Leave your fixed home and sit in a temporary home. Ad Esri Mama Adamoisa Diras Aroy. Going out into a shed, a temporary place, that's up to 20 amas. If you're building something with higher than 20 amas, it's a simon that it's not a diras aroy, but a diras kva. If the walls were made out of iron, the sichach al gabon, because and now it looks like it's a diras kva. Hachnami delavi sukkah. Would it be excluded as a sukkah? I'm like, no. Up until 20 amas, a person that'll be a temporary home for him. And even if you build it with iron, you could be yotzei such a sukkah. But lamala masri mama, the adamoisa dirasa diras kva, ki over diras aroy, nami nothing. If you build it in a manner, even if it's a diras aroy, since the walls are the schach is so high, you won't be yotzei. Kula karabba lo yamri. No one held like Rabba because maybe that pasuk is to teach future generations about the din of sukkah, not the din that you have to sit. You have to have in mind the sukkah. Karab Zera, who learned it from a pasuk, Nami Lamer Ahuli Masa Mashiach Udiksi. That pasuk is for Masa Mashiach. I've Rab Zerim Kate Lema Krav Chupa Tiel Etzel Yomam. Umay v'sukkah Tiel Etzel Yomam Shmami No Tarti. He learns both dinim from it. One about Mashiach Tzait, and then the other, the din that it has to be high enough. The question that Abaya asked is why we rejected the sheet of Rav. Machlokes Tanakam and Rav Yehuda, whether schach greater than 20 amas is possible or not. We're talking about a case where the walls do not reach the schach. Even if the sukkah was taller than 20 amas, as long as your eye can follow the wall and right next to the wall is the schach, it'll be kosher. Now the halacha is like the Stam Mishnah, it doesn't make a difference whether the walls go up. If it's greater than 20 amas, it's going to be puzzle. Because it has to be a diras saroy. Kiman Kirabba. The reason why Rabba said it was a problem if the schach is too high because your eye doesn't see it. Kivan did fanis magir schach, but in a case where the schach is actually sitting on top of the walls, your eye will follow the walls up to the schach. We don't paskin that way. Kiman Azadam Ravuna Marav. Machlokes Peshein Ba'al Arba Amos Al Arba Amos. The machlokes whether a 20 amas sukkah is possible or not is when the sukkah is not 4 by 4. Which we also don't paskin like. More saying here, even if it's 4 by 4, if it's 4 by 4, the sukkah a schach above Esri Mama will be okay. Kiman Krabzer Damar Mishum Tzelu. We keep in the Revicha. Since it's a wide enough sukkah, it could sell sukkah. You're having the shade from the schach. The machlokas whether a sukkah is possible above 20 amas is only a sukkah that can hold your head, your table, and the majority of your body. Can hold that. It'll be kosher even above. Again, we don't pass in that way either. And that's like neither. So Bishlam Rabbi Yoshia Pligad Ravuna Rav Chanan Barava the Inu Koyov Shir Mishcha. They gave a shear of the shetach of the sukkah, the Iu Loiko Yov Shir Mishcha, and he didn't give a a dimension. He's koveya the way the walls are built. Maybe Ravuna and Rav Chanan are arguing in how big a sukkah can be. The Mar Savar, Hechsher Sukkah Bar, you have to have a minimum of 4 by 4. Umar Savar, Hechsher Sukkah b'machzekes Rosh Harubav Shulchano, which is only 9 by 9 tefachim. Excuse me, which is 9 by 9. We'll see, which is 9 by 9 tefachim. Which is low. Kulam Hechsher Sukkah Rosh Harubav Shulchano. Really, everyone could agree that the minimum size sukkah is the amount where your head, the majority of your body, and your table can be in there. Rather, what's the machlokes? The Marsav machlokes Rosh Harubav Shulchano Pligi. They argue about whether a sukkah higher than 20 amas is in that issue. Aval Yoisim Rosh Harubav Shulchano Divrei Kol Ksheira. If it has a minimum of 9 by 9, then even if the schach was more than 20 amas, everybody held it would be kosher. Umar Sav Rosh Harubav Shulchano Arba Amas Pligi, that the machlokes is between 9 by 9 up until 4 by 4. Everybody would hold that it would be permitted. If the schach is more than 20 amas, psula. Rav Yehuda said it's okay even up to 40, 50 amas. Rav Yehuda might be Hileni Amalka, Belod. Hileni Amalka was one of the Chashmonai queens. Her sukkah was taller than 20 amas. And the Zakanim, must be that it's kosher. There's no proof from there. Hileni is a woman. Women are potter min sukkah because of mitzvah sasesha man grama. She had 7 sons. They are required sukkah. Not only that, everything Yeleni Amalka did, she did based on the Chachamim. So the Gemara wants to know, why did that have to be added? Why wasn't it enough to say that her sons were there? Maybe they were young. So we have to be told, she had 7. So pregnancy is at least 9 months. At least one of them is going to be of an age who doesn't need his mother, and that like 7 or 8, and that age is required michinuch to sit in the sukkah. So maybe you'll tell me, we're talking about a katan who's 7 or 8 years old, and the mitzvah of sukkah for him is only rabbinic. And maybe she didn't care about rabbinic dinim, but that can't be toshma, because we said od kol maseh lo estel al pi hachachamim. So the Gemara will have that the machlokes is only when the walls don't reach the schach. A queen would never sit in such a sukkah. So then it works out that her walls must have gone up to the schach. And we said then, even if the schach was greater than 20 amas, it would be kosher. Because she wants a nice airy space. According to the other mandar, it might be still problematic. So we will learn tomorrow.